time, my wife blew trial. So I lost my deal. My wife blew trial. So everything was just bad for me at that time. And then I was in a space where, okay, you off the label, but you still have a name for yourself. You need to work extra right now.
Right.
And I chose not to work because I felt like my wife needed me, and that was more important. So I just put the music, I was like, forget about music. Let me focus on my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's so interesting. So what year did you meet Remy and begin that?
Well, I met Rem back then, like 05.
Okay.
So at first we was friends, and you know, it escalated slowly but surely.
Right. Did you guys hit it off as like rap friends at first, like entirely like non-romantic? Like you just were kind of like, hey, like I like that bar you had right there.
Nah.
Hey, I'm always kind of fascinated. Like, all right, I'm chilling with my girl the other night, and I know my girl, and I know that if I start watching a rap interview, that she's gonna zone out or go in a room or whatever, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna watch these VH1 clips because then you'll stay on the couch with me and watch it. Because if it's about a rapper's relationship, then she'll usually tune in. So we watched the full hour of the highlights of your whole VH1 experience with Remy and everything. And then it's you guys rapping together. And I'm just looking at her, I'm like, can you imagine me and you doing this together? Like, I'm just very fascinated by you guys both being like really, you know, and for those who haven't like listened to Remy, she's just extremely talented and really, really good at the job, you know?
Yeah, she's a beast.
Yeah. Did you guys relate about that in the beginning, or like how long did it take before you were like flirting with her?
Nah, man. How we first got together was K-Slick called me one day. So back then, I'm fresh off the street. You know what I mean? I had bought my first house around that time though, because you know, I had did good at what I was doing. And he called me. At this time, I was living in Long Island. He called me one day and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Remy's like my sister. She like you." He like, "But I'm letting you know, if you're gonna deal with her, you better be straight up because she's crazy." And I'm like, okay. So he like, yo. So he's like, yo, she called me up and she like, yo, I want to do a song with your artist. So he's like, yo, he set up the session for me to come do the song with her. I went to the studio. First, I went to the barbershop. I got a haircut. I went and got a new outfit. You know what I mean? Got the best jewelry. I'm like, Remy wants to do a song with me? Wow. So I come to the studio and she didn't show up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I'm like, all right, cool. But me and Slade was in the studio all the time. So the next time we was in the studio, she just randomly popped up. And actually, I saw her before that. She came in the studio and she was very rude. Like, she was just like, turn that shit off. And I had never seen nobody talk to Slade like this. She's like, turn that shit down and you go over here. Just do it. I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, this woman is, I think I like her. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I stayed quiet. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna say nothing because she's flipping on everybody in the room, and if she flip on me like this, it's not gonna go good. So I stayed quiet.
I've been in a lot of rap studios, and I've never seen a woman walk in and turn the music off, or you know, use the rap studio environment is the most broed out male emphasis energy possible.
She was like, turn that shit off. You go over here. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I had never seen nobody talk to Slade like that. But now I understand it. It's like a big brother, a little sister relationship. So he was like real passive.
Okay.
But that time I didn't say that and I stayed quiet. So later on, speed up. She wants to do a song with you. I come to the studio. She never shows up. She popped up randomly another time. We did a song called Bonnie and Clyde. And I just flirted with her through my whole verse. Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I was just saying little lines and shit. And from there, we exchanged numbers and we just became cool. We used to just chop it up. And she was actually kind of schooling me on the game because she had been in the game before me.
Right. She'd had a big hit by that point and everything.
Yeah. And I just thought everything was real. And she was like, no, this one is pussy. This one don't do what he say. This one, it's not like you think. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, you see.
She seems very knowledgeable, street savvy, industry savvy.
Yeah, she's very smart.
A lot of guys would be intimidated by that, though.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I loved it.
I feel like as a rapper, you're so used to dealing with girls that are basically like subservient. Like they just want to fit in. They want to be cool. They want to be down, etc. And she's got to be like the complete opposite end of that spectrum where she's in control as much as possible. She just like, she doesn't mind throwing a tantrum or making a scene if she's not getting what she wants.
Yeah, I mean, very independent. She's the type of person, man, if you're straight up, and you're real about it, you'll get along with her perfect. But if you're doing some under the table shit, oh, you're not gonna like her because she's gonna expose you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just the type of person she is. She's just straight up, bro. Like, trust me when I tell you, it's you know, it's a great thing.
Right, definitely. But she was already dealing with the legal stuff when you guys started seeing
No.
each other? Or,
No, that
okay.
didn't happen till around 08,
Right.
07, 08. Like I said, right around the time where everything started going down for me. It happened like simultaneously.
Really?
Yeah.
And so you just describe your mental state at that time. Like, what were you thinking in terms of what you wanted to do with your life? It's like you've got the rap thing going, and then you got this great relationship, but then both of them seem like they're kind of headed on a crash collision.
Well, our relationship, started to escalate. We would spend a lot of time just talking. We were friends. We would sit in the vehicle and talk, and next thing you know, it would be morning again. Like, that's how our conversations were. And we decided to get married. So we started planning our wedding on the yacht. You know what I mean? We had paid for it and everything. But at the same time, she had the case and she was on trial. So I was telling her, like, yo, listen, you're going to beat the case. Don't worry about it. She was like, no, I'm going to blow trial. I said, nah, you're not going to blow trial. So I said, hey, don't worry about it. If you blow trial, I'm going to be there for you. And she got pissed at me, like, because she didn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? She was like, yo, how would you say that? This, that, and that. I'm like, it's going to be all right. She actually blew trial. And I didn't feel like she deserved it. You know what I mean? They gave her a lot of time.
Because she blew it off?
Say that again?
Because she didn't show up, they gave her a lot more time than she might have got normally?
No, she showed up. She went to trial every day.
Oh, right.
But she blew trial. She got found guilty of the charges.
Oh, right.
So what I'm saying to you is that she didn't deserve it. Such a great person. You know what I mean? A lot of people lied during her trial. I won't get into that. But, anyway, she blows trial. And I just had to make sure I supported her, man. I put everything to the side. At that time, I really didn't care about nothing. I knew that she needed me, you know what I mean? She had never been to prison before, so I knew she needed me more than I needed to be worried about other shit.
Right.
So I visited her every day, you know what I mean, around that time, every day. And it was to the point where one time I came to visit her, and one of the COs, she was like, hey, come here. Very disrespectful, but what they try to do is they try to intimidate you because they don't like when them inmates get support.
Right.
So she's very rude, and for any little thing, they'll terminate your visit. So I'm humble. I come up to the desk. She's like, why you keep coming here every day? I said, excuse me? She's like, she's not going nowhere. And I'm like, wow, these people are so disrespectful. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So that's how much I was visiting her, that they was trying to detour me from doing it. But like I said, I knew she needed me at the time. And one of the things about prison is it's all about separation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my goal was not to allow them to separate us, because without unity, you have no strength. So that comes into divide and conquer. So that's what breaks up the family when you allow that. I wasn't going to allow the prison wall to come in between us. So what I did was I functioned every day like she was still there. Like if something happened in school with one of the kids, or I had to make a decision at the crib, I made sure she was involved in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was one of the ways we got through it. And then also communication. You know what I mean? When I visited her, I couldn't touch her. So all we had was, they'd say, hey, put your hands on the table. You know what I mean? So all I could do was talk. And through us communicating so much, it built our bond. You know what I mean? So we would take turns speaking. Even if we had a disagreement, I can't speak while she's speaking, and vice versa.
Interesting.
So, all of those things played a part, and it helped us get through it.
Yeah. But I mean, how hard was it to watch her go down for 6.5 years? Like, I mean, that must have been, would you say that was one of your greatest challenges as a man throughout your life?
Yeah. You know why? Because I watched her suffer. Like, I would keep myself together. I never showed no weakness, but it was times I went home and I just punched the walls. Right. Because I couldn't do nothing to get her out of there. It was nothing I could do.
And all you wanted to be able to do is be able to protect your woman.
Yeah, and all I could do was visit her, you know what I mean, and send her packages, speak to her on the phone, things of that nature. But I knew she needed me at that time, so I really didn't give a fuck about nothing else. I just tried to make sure she was good.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, because I seen like in a couple things in the Love and Hip Hop thing that was kind of like a real conversation that you guys were having, where you felt almost like you were in prison to a certain extent as well, because you couldn't just separate yourself from her situation. Like, it feels like you guys formed such a bond that you couldn't just walk away like a lot of dudes probably would.
Nah, I couldn't. Man. It's like a lot of people ask me about that, but the best way I can explain it is like you see a fucking tornado going around and it hit somebody else, and you're like, wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But it hit home. So it was either you're going to pick up the pieces or you're going to run. and leave everything fucked up. I just chose to pick up the pieces, man. I was just like, yo, she don't deserve this, you know what I mean? And I gotta make sure I'm here for her, man, you know what I mean? And that's what I did.
Right. So in terms of focusing on your own career, did it take a while before you were able to really like start rapping like your old self again, or did that whole thing kind of fuck you up?
Yeah, I put
in
it
the
to
head?
the side. I put it to the side for a while, and she used to tell me like, "Yo, you need to focus on your career. Like, you don't need to, like, don't worry about me so much." And I was like, "Nah, I gotta make sure you good."